Welcome to English Podcast Studio. Today, we're diving into a speaking drill all about news and media. If you're following along, just listen to each question, pause to answer aloud, and then check out our model responses and feedback.
Exactly. Think of this like a friendly speaking challenge. Relax, express your ideas naturally, and see how many new phrases you can use. Let's jump into the first question.
Do you follow the news regularly? Do you follow the news regularly? Pause now and answer.
Yes, I try to stay updated every day. I check major headlines each morning using news apps and online platforms. I like digital news because it's instant and lets me follow both local and world events. When I'm short on time, I listen to short news podcasts.
Great, you used headlines, digital news, and world events really naturally. You could also say breaking news or live updates. Try. I usually browse a few live updates over breakfast. It's my quick way to stay informed. Nice energy. Moving on. How do you usually get your news? How do you usually get your news? Pause now and answer.
Mostly through news apps and newsletters. I've subscribed to a few reliable outlets that send daily digests. On social media, I follow journalists directly. It feels more personal. I also like weekend podcasts that explain big stories in depth.
Nice touch with daily digests, journalists directly, and in-depth podcasts. You could add news aggregator or subscription-based service. Upgrade. I follow a news aggregator that gathers stories from different outlets, so I get balanced coverage. Perfect. Let's keep going. Do you prefer reading printed newspapers or online news? Do you prefer reading printed newspapers or online news? Pause now and answer.
I definitely prefer online news. It's fast, interactive, and easy to access anywhere. Still, I love the smell and texture of printed papers. It's nostalgic. But realistically, my phone wins for convenience.
Great contrast you used. Interactive, nostalgic, and convenience beautifully. You might add digital platform or scrolling culture. Try. Although I love the feel of paper, scrolling through digital platforms has become second nature. Nicely balanced answer. Why do you think it's important to stay informed about the news? Why do you think it's important to stay informed about the news? Pause now and answer.
Because the news connects us to the world. It helps us make informed choices and understand social and political changes. Staying informed also encourages awareness and empathy beyond our own community.
Loved how you used informed choices, awareness, and empathy. You could add current affairs or global awareness. Try. Keeping up with current affairs helps people form balanced opinions instead of quick judgments. Excellent. Next one. How can people tell if the news they read is reliable? How can people tell if the news they read is reliable? Pause now and answer.
I think checking the source is key. I look for outlets with named authors and verifiable data. I also compare the same story across different websites to avoid being misled.
Nice reasoning. You used verifiable data and compare across outlets well. Add fact-checking or media literacy for variety. Example. Fact-checking and media literacy go hand in hand when it comes to spotting fake stories. Great insight. Do you think social media is a good way to get the news? Do you think social media is a good way to get the news? Pause now and answer.
It's good for quick updates, but accuracy can be an issue. Social media spreads stories fast, even rumors. I usually double-check anything that seems exaggerated before believing it.
Great, you used quick updates, accuracy, and rumors perfectly. Add viral post or echo chamber. Try. Social media delivers news fast, but it often traps people inside echo chambers. Sharp observation. What problems can fake news cause? What problems can fake news cause? Pause now and answer.
Fake news misleads people and damages trust. It can even influence elections or spread fear during emergencies. The worst part is how quickly false information goes viral.
Nice one. You used misleads, trust, and false information. You could add public confidence or false narratives. Upgrade. Fake news erodes public confidence and fuels false narratives that divide society. Excellent point. Does reading or watching the news affect your mood? Does reading or watching the news affect your mood? Pause now and answer.
Definitely. Constant bad news can feel draining, especially during crises. I try to balance it by following positive stories about innovation or human kindness.
Loved that you used draining, positive stories, and innovation. You could also add news, burnout, or mental reset. Example. To avoid news burnout, I limit my scrolling and look for uplifting human interest pieces. That's a healthy approach. How has technology changed the way people consume news? How has technology changed the way people consume news? Pause now and answer.
Technology completely reshaped news. Now we have real-time notifications, live streaming, and personalized feeds. It's efficient, but sometimes overwhelming because updates never stop.
Nice phrasing you used: real-time, personalized feeds, and overwhelming naturally. You could also mention AI-curated content or algorithmic bias. Try. AI-curated content makes news personal, but it risks reinforcing bias. Excellent insight. What role do journalists play in society today? What role do journalists play in society today? Pause now and answer.
Journalists are watchdogs. They uncover facts, investigate stories, and hold power accountable. Without them, we'd have less transparency and more misinformation.
Great, you used watchdogs, investigate, and transparency beautifully. Add press freedom or independent reporting. Example: independent reporting keeps societies honest and protects democracy. Strong answer. Do you prefer following local news or international news? Do you prefer following local news or international news? Pause now and answer.
I like a mix of both. Local news helps me stay connected to my city, while international coverage keeps me aware of global events. Together, they give me the full picture.
Great, you used local news, international coverage, and full picture. Add regional focus or global outlook. Example: balancing regional focus with a global outlook keeps my perspective grounded. Nicely rounded response. Do young and older people get their news differently? Do young and older people get their news differently? Pause now and answer.
Yes. Younger people scroll through social media, while older people prefer TV or newspapers. But the gap is shrinking as more seniors use smartphones.
Great, you used scroll, TV, and shrinking gap. Add digital shift or media habits. Try, the digital shift is blurring generational lines in how people stay informed. Well spotted. How do you think people will get their news in the future? How do you think people will get their news in the future? Pause now and answer.
I think we'll see personalized AI anchors and voice assistants delivering updates instantly. Maybe even holographic or AR newsrooms where stories come alive visually.
Nice futuristic vision. You used AI anchors, voice assistants, and AR newsrooms. You could also say immersive journalism or smart devices. Example: immersive journalism might soon let us walk through the story instead of reading it. Love that imagination. Should schools teach students how to read and analyze the news? Should schools teach students how to read and analyze the news? Pause now and answer.
Absolutely. Media literacy is as important as math or writing now. Students should learn how to check sources, detect bias, and understand how headlines can shape opinion.
Fantastic, you used media literacy, detect bias, and shape opinion. Try critical thinking or news analysis. Example: teaching critical thinking through news analysis helps young people question information, not just consume it. Brilliant addition. Do you think celebrity news is real journalism? Do you think celebrity news is real journalism? Pause now and answer.
That's a tricky one. Celebrity news can be entertaining, but it often prioritizes gossip over facts. I think it's fine for fun, but it shouldn't replace serious reporting.
Nice honesty you used. Entertaining, gossip, and serious reporting. You could add tabloid culture or clickbait. Example: tabloid culture often turns real stories into clickbait just for attention. Clever phrasing. Do you think the media can ever be completely unbiased? Do you think the media can ever be completely unbiased? Pause now and answer.
Probably not. Every outlet has some bias, even if it's unintentional. What matters is transparency, admitting perspective, and showing multiple sides of an issue.
Excellent. You used bias, transparency, and multiple sides. Add editorial stance or balanced coverage. Example: true journalism aims for balanced coverage even when editorial stances differ. That's a professional take. What do you think about citizen journalism? What do you think about citizen journalism? Pause now and answer.
I think it's powerful. Anyone with a phone can share real events instantly, but it's a double-edged sword. It gives voice to the public but lacks verification sometimes.
Great. You used double-edged sword, verification, and voice to the public. add on the ground footage, or grassroots reporting. Example: grassroots reporting brings raw truth, but it still needs verification to build trust. Well-balanced. Has a news story ever changed the way you see the world? Has a news story ever changed the way you see the world? Pause now and answer.
Yes, several times. Stories about climate change and human rights made me realize how interconnected we all are. They motivated me to read more deeply and take action instead of just scrolling.
Beautifully said. You used climate change, human rights, and interconnected. Add impactful coverage or global awareness. Try. Powerful, impactful coverage can spark global awareness and inspire personal responsibility. Wonderful note to end on. For quick upgrades, try breaking story, media outlet, and balanced coverage. For pronunciation, stress the first syllable in journalist, journalist, not journalist. And if you want to keep the chat going, ask, which news story has inspired you most recently? Thanks for joining us. See you next time.
That's a wrap. Keep practicing, stay curious, and remember, understanding the news is the first step to understanding the world. Bye for now.